I'd like to introduce the next person who's joining Taraka on stage. Dr. Neeraja Raghavan, a teacher, educator, founder, director of Thinking Teacher, Bangalore. A PhD in chemistry from Princeton University, she works with teachers across the country for their professional development. I'm still wondering what PhD thesis she must have taken. Maybe student-teacher chemistry, why it is important for both their developments was what I was asking Neeraja. So handing it over to both of them to take over.
Thank you, Rashmi. Teaching is teaching, whether you teach chemistry or music. So we've had a very inspiring morning, listening to the great gurus on stage and also getting a glimpse of the guru-shishya relationship, not only between the gurus and the students here, but the gurus and their gurus, the way they spoke of them. So Tara and I are going to just give you a glimpse of how in Shankar Mahadevan Academy, we are trying to bridge the past and the present so that we get the best out of our rich heritage, but factor in the modernity of today's times.
You've heard a lot today from the morning about the Guru Shishya Parampara, and Sridhar and I have endless conversations about this. And I want to, on this platform now, we want to present for you what the Shankar Mahadevan Academy feels about the Guru Shishya Parampara. It has the absolute respect for this tradition. It also recognizes the changes that we need to make in the modern world of today, and that is what we are going to give a little glimpse about in this conversation.
So we've already heard a lot about the Gurukula tradition, and we know that this is a tradition which is part of our Indian heritage when the student sought out a particular guru for the special knowledge or art that that student wanted to learn from that guru, and therefore went and stayed with the guru 24/7 and performed seva and learned that particular knowledge. But this system declined, and today we have music teachers coming to homes of middle class families, and this changes somewhat the nature of the equation, because the student is constrained and the teacher is constrained by geographical constraints. The teacher who's nearby can visit the home, not a teacher who's very far away. And therefore the student can't really go searching for that one teacher who's going to teach him or her. It's a very, it's based on convenience. And the classes are paid classes, unlike in our ancient tradition where there was Guru Dakshina given to the Guru at the end of learning. Can we have the next slide?
So what it means is that we have a completely different situation now. We have the internet era where geographical constraints no longer hold. You can have a guru sitting in Mumbai and you can have the student in Australia. It doesn't matter. So
in the richness of the Indian tradition which we would like to keep, we also are confronted with today's reality, where, as was pointed out by the gurus in the morning, it's no longer a case of the student being in awe of the teacher. We had a guru tell us that today the guru has to answer questions from the student and not the other way around. Also, today's student has a certain attitude to learning and to the teacher, in the sense that the student wants to have fun while learning. It's not that the student is disrespectful, but the student wants to have fun. And the student also wants to be convinced of the rationale behind any rule that is posed by the teacher. While in the former days, the students would say, the guru has said it and I must do it. That doesn't hold anymore. So and today you have to convince the student. Yes, Tara?
And I want to just put in a word here about not coming down to the level of the student, as we heard, but I would say rising to the occasion, right? And saying that you really have to factor in a lot of what the context of the students are today. And I think one of the biggest challenges for us as teachers here is that we are all products of the Guru Shishya Parampara, maybe not like going and staying with a guru and doing seva, though I just heard from Ashwini that she actually stayed at Prabhatre's house for many years and learned from her. So, you know, there are even cases like that. But most of us are in a kind of very much in the Guru Shishya Parampara, all of us who are now teachers in the academy. But what we have here is that we no longer, our students no longer have this thing of being called so-and-so's Shishya. Whether they're going to a university or they're going online to learn, they might learn from a number of teachers and they may not be recognized as this Vidushi student or this Panditji student. They now have a number of influences, a number of teachers. So there itself the equation changes. Again, in our age we were learning mainly to become musicians, not to become teachers per se. And therefore, we had a very different approach to this whole learning teaching process.
So this brings us to what are the challenges in an academy like Shankar Mahadevan Academy today, which is an online academy. As was already stated by one of the gurus, today's students are not pursuing only music. That's not their only passion. And we heard many students singing today who are doing many other things. A corporate executive was one example. So most students are simultaneously engaged in multiple pursuits. And just like in music departments in universities, in Shankar Mahadevan Academy also, a student doesn't get to choose the teacher because you have to factor in these logistics of convenience and time slot and location to match the student-teacher equation. Therefore, a student in Shankar Mahadevan Academy is seldom known as so-and-so teacher student, will be known as a Shankar Mahadevan Academy student. And lessons happen from the comfort of home, and we had some cautionary advice from one of the gurus that let it not get too comfortable. Let us look at also the rigor that is needed while we are learning from home. Let us not lose respect for that. And there are still more challenges, which are that a teacher cannot assume that the student is interested. A teacher has to draw out that interest from the student today. In the olden days, as we said, the student was interested and therefore sought out the guru and went. Today, the teacher has to keep the interest alive in the student, light it and keep it alive. And we have to cater to students of different ages, across so many, 73 countries, across cultures, across different professions. And on top of this all, we have this grand vision which our founder told us today, of becoming the Harvard of Indian music. So this demands a certain rigor, and we have to meet certain specified standards, and this will ensure the longevity of our institution.
And so we now come to what do we mean by a Harvard of Indian music? What is it that makes Harvard one of the best universities in the world? It is the quality. And how do we ensure quality? Only through sustained support and nurturing of the teachers. That is the most important thing, because unless the teachers are able to deliver what they have with that international standard of quality, we cannot hope to reach this vision. And therefore, what we have to do here, what we are trying to do in the Shankar Mahadevan Academy is a teacher development program, which we have invested in over the last couple of years. So we start with a very basic course called the Teacher Certification Course, and our aim is to deliver the art, the science, and the craft of teaching. So what does that mean? It means that just as you have to learn and practice your music to become a competent musician, you have to learn how to teach. You might be a born teacher, you might have certain talents, but unless you hone them with the knowledge of education as a science, it'll remain at a very mediocre level. So what we need to do is, what is the science of education? It's the science of psychology, sociology, philosophy. All these social sciences come into education. And how does it work? So let me give you an example. We have a psychologist called Vygotsky who says, without any help, a student can learn up to, say, this level. With intervention and expert help, she can go up there. So in this gap, you know, between what she can do on her own and what she can achieve when she has expert input, that gap he calls the zone of proximal development. Now, how does it affect our classes? If you aim your lesson under the zone of proximal development, you know, what the student can achieve on her own, she's not going to find it a challenge. She's going to get bored. Oh, she's asked me to sing the same old thing again and again. If you pitch it above that zone of proximal development, she says, oh, that, huh? Oh, it's too difficult. Take me off the class. You know, so it's like saying the student is struggling with Saregama Padhanisa and you're singing a brilliant tan, up and down, you're showing off, you know. And the student says, that's mere bas ka nahi hai, ab theek hai, next course ke liye nahi ja rahi hu main. So, you can't frighten the student by giving her something that she cannot, a challenge that's too much. You cannot get her bored because the challenge is too little. Now, how do you then pitch your lesson to the exact level which is challenging as well as
not intimidating?
Not intimidating, exactly. So that is the part of the science of teaching. What is the art of teaching? What we've been talking about is the teacher-student connect. You may be hundreds of miles away, and you may not have the student for the next course. But during that time, the kind of bond you build, the kind of creativity you can inspire in your student, that is the art. And the craft is when you can put the science and the art together and you can design lessons. And that is what we do in the TCC, the Teacher Certification Course 102, where the teachers are actually creating the teach kits or the lesson plans, and they're crafting together the lessons to suit individual students. So we think, okay, can I teach the same way for a student who's 65 years old and one who's 5 years old? No, there has to be a difference. Can I teach the same to a student who's absolutely, you know, keen on learning as compared to the one who's been forced to sit there by the parent? No, there has to be a difference. So we look at different learner profiles and we are actually crafting teach kits to suit different learner profiles. So that is our teacher certification program. And as they're going through this program, a teacher needs to know where she stands. And then that brings us to the rubric that Neeraja has created for a self-assessment for every teacher.
So this may sound like a very complicated journey, but to help the teacher, what we have done is developed a rubric for the teacher in Shankar Mahadevan Academy to make use of a very, very powerful tool which is there for every teacher and every student. And that is that every single lesson in Shankar Mahadevan Academy is video recorded. And this is a very powerful tool for a teacher to reflect. A teacher can go back and look at any of his or her old lessons and see her own trajectory. Where was I then and where am I now? And if we look at a parameter like student-teacher interaction, and which we have already discussed as being very important for learning to happen and effective teaching to take place. And under that, if we look at a sub-parameter called clarification of doubts, which is self-explanatory, we've all been students, and we know that we learnt best when the teacher allowed us to clarify our doubts. So this top column, for some reason, thanks to technology, is not showing. So let me just explain. In the extreme right, it's called level 1. Next one is level 2, level 3, and level 4. So a level 1 teacher, hardly any questions are asked by the student in this teacher's class. So when a teacher goes back and looks at his or her video and finds that there's not much questioning happening by the student. The teacher may reflect and say, perhaps this is my area of growth. Maybe I'm at level 1, and what do I need to do to go from level 1 to level 2? And a level 2 teacher finds that questions are raised, but the teacher is often unable to tackle questions raised by the student, and also does not give sufficient room for clarification of doubts by the student, and this is visible by the confusion on the student's face. A level 3 teacher sometimes gives explicit room for students to raise questions and seek clarifications, whereas a level 4 teacher, there is always room to raise doubts. And the teacher tackles each and every doubt to the complete satisfaction of the student. So, Tarak, when you wrap that into our TPD.
Yeah. So we have this kind of a rubric which has a number of such elements by which a teacher can gauge exactly how far she has gone in the science and art of teaching. How good is she? How can she improve? What is the next level in every element? And this is a process of self-assessment that every teacher is going through, and then a peer assessment. Someone she trusts marks her on the same rubric, and then they have a dialogue about why have I marked myself lower? Why have you marked me higher? You know, so let's have a dialogue about that. And through this process, you come to know exactly how you can grow as a teacher. So these are some of the very important milestones that Shankar Mahadevan Academy is putting for the journey for a teacher. And I think it's a very, very precious journey because it makes you a confident teacher, a teacher who's able to communicate, a teacher who's able to get her students. And before we finish, we want to ask a very wonderful performer and teacher here a question.
So we would like to wrap up in a kind of, it's closing the loop, you know. We heard how a teacher is also a student. A teacher never stops being a student. So we'd like to ask our guest of honor today, Aruna ji, if you'll permit me to ask you this question. Many youngsters, I'm sure, in the audience, when they see someone like you, who's so awe-inspiring and who never seems to make a mistake and who's so perfect, I'm sure the question is coming in their mind, did a person like this, were they born like this, or did they ever have to struggle, and did they make mistakes like me? Did they ever have to, you know, face some difficulty, or has it all been a cakewalk for them? So I would love to hear your answer to what were your struggles? Did you ever experience struggles as a student?
Oh, thanks for the privilege, but yeah. So may I rephrase the question just to make sure that I'm answering the question right? So your question is that were there struggles, or was it a cakewalk always, right? So, well, to be honest, I have to tell you, the struggles were so many that several times over and over again I almost gave up. I was not going to pursue this full time. But that was because I was not aspiring to be a hobby singer or a listener, but I was aspiring to be a performer. That is why the difficulty level was higher. If I was happy to be a singer who's singing once in a while, then things were very easy because I was taught a lot of music when I was young, and I had the opportunity to listen to great artists. Like I remember Lalit ji. I was 14 and she was a young daughter-in-law in her father-in-law's house. I used to go there and be able to listen to Lalit ji, and every moment I listened to her, it was so inspiring. So all that input was there. I was inspired by all these artists, but when I myself was making a bid to become a performing artist myself, I thought it was very difficult. The reason in my particular case, I would say, because every journey is different. If you ask Shankar ji, his journey would have been very different. I'm sure he's had so many struggles. I can tell you that otherwise he wouldn't be where he is today. Without those struggles, no. And today when I sit with Shankarji, we perform together. Sometimes we've had that great opportunity to perform together. I've had that great opportunity to share the podium with him. And what comes through to me, the first moment when he sits next to me to sing is the sheer joy that he experiences when he sings. The sheer joy. And he radiates it all over. Not only he will be smiling at everybody in the group, all the accompanists, everybody will be waiting. Oh, Shankarji is going to come, we are going to sing, and udhar aake, you know, he'll be just smiling his way through and putting everybody at ease. First thing. Because how does he get there? How did he get there? It is a whole life full of struggles and lot of tears, I'm sure, for him to be smiling like that today when he gets to the stage. So ये journey होता है. It's one whole journey of self-knowledge, self-realization, and self-assessment all the time, and above all, humility. Humility comes to you hard, I tell you. पहले नहीं आता है. पहले नहीं आता है. मुझे तो नहीं आया. क्योंकि I was, 10 साल के अंदर I was already singing 300 kritis. 200 varnams. Then my guru Brindamma. So every time somebody spoke to me, they say, oh, you're learning from Brindamma. You know, she never teaches anybody. How did she agree to teach you? तो थोड़ा और बढ़ जाता है. फिर सोचते अरे भाई अरे Brindamma teaches me, so I must be something special. तो ये problem थोड़ा identity crisis सबको होता है. मुझे तो हुआ. I don't know if सबको हुआ कि नहीं. So what happens is you are a good singer, but you think you're थोड़ा हटके. I'm doing something different. These people won't understand what I do, and I'm special. I'm doing classical music. I can sing padams and javalis. Aaj kisko malum hai padam javali? I'm singing. These kind of things, the more and more you sing, the more and more. Ghar pe sab log वाह वाह बोलेंगे. मम्मी, डैडी, अंकल, आंटी सब लोग बोलेंगे हाँ बहुत अच्छा बेटा, हाँ हाँ. बाहर निकलो तो पता चले कि आपका क्या. So ऐसे हुआ कि मैं बम्बई से फिर मद्रास में गई. As you know, Carnatic music बोले तो you have to make it in Madras. You make it anywhere else. You go to Carnegie Hall and you sing. Madras people will just look and they will look away. Doesn't matter to them. उनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. आप यहाँ आके म्यूजिक एकेडमी में can all the pandits do वाह वाह to you? Then we will even look at you. Otherwise, you're nothing. So, वहाँ पे गई. It so happened my first debut concert ever in Madras was at the Music Academy. 12 बजे का slot. So, I was billed, so to say, in a special category of Music Academy. 12 से 1:30 तक. Though it was sub-junior concert, it was at the academy. गाई मैं अच्छा रहा. सब लोग बोले, गुरुजी भी बोले अच्छा है. Brindamma was sitting, she encouraged me. Everybody said, अच्छा. फिर उसमें prize भी रहता है. Every 12 o'clock slot, through the 15 days का best prize रहता है. तो एक दिन गया, 2 दिन गया. By the time 30th December came, everybody in the lobby, तो कॉरिडोर में सब लोग बात करते हैं. उसमें से पता चलता है क्या मूड क्या है. तो सब लोग बोल रहे हैं, अरुणा एक नई लड़की आई है, बहुत अच्छा गाती है, उसको ये बारी वो स्लॉट में प्राइज उसको मिलने वाला है. तो आई एम लाइक गियरिंग अप. 31st को आई एम वेटिंग कि सब मुझे फ़ोन आएगा, बोलेंगे तुम कल सदस्य में तुम्हारा कॉन्सर्ट को बेस्ट प्राइज मिलने वाला है. मिला नहीं मिला. किसी और को चले गया. But today I thank that day when I did not get that prize. Because it set me thinking, I said, क्यों नहीं, कोई कारण हो. You can tell 100 reasons. Nepotism है, ये है, वो है. You can rationalize. But ultimately there is a reason why you don't get it. वो सोचना पड़ेगा. So this went on and then I'm in Bombay. I'm a young mother. I have 2 children. My family comes first. Then बीच में I'm singing. I'm going, I'm going to Madras, doing 2-3 concerts a year, coming back. And धीरे धीरे audience का number घटता गया. ज़्यादा नहीं हुआ. 200 से 100 हो गया, 100 से 50. I have sung in auditoriums of 1,000-seater where only 100 people were sitting in the audience. I have done that. That's what set me thinking कि भाई कुछ ना कुछ तो होगा. अभी इतना बड़ा गुरु से I know I can sing well. I myself know it. Others also say so. But why is my music not reaching? ये सोचते सोचते और थोड़े साल निकल गए. Because I'm not doing full time, na? I'm also a mother and I'm running a family. I realized one important thing. Okay, it is all about communication. Music is not vidya. Vidya sab hai. Beyond that, when the audience comes there, they say, what am I going to come and take away from this 2 hours that I'm listening to you? They want that. Otherwise, why would they waste their time coming there? They want to feel happy. They want to feel that divine, kuch na kuch wo zero time bolte hai na. They want to forget themselves. They want to enjoy. They want to feel that touch of जो भी divinity अपने music में है, उसका एक थोड़ा किरण उनके पास भी आ जाए. इसके तरस के तो वो आते हैं. They come to listen to you. And if you are going to sing with this attitude, I appreciate what she said. She said it's not singing down or looking down upon the audience. It is rising to the audience. You have to rise to the audience. So I first understood through some very good friends that it is about respecting each and every face in that audience. Each and every face comes there with aspirations to get a good experience. I learned to respect that. I learned to honor that. And I, instead of, I'll give you one simple analogy and finish this Vartalap that is going on and on and on. But, you know, I will tell in Tamil, English mixed. You know, Kalyanangal Paramarva. Food paroste hai na. So in some weddings, oh, main chef will come and he will say, hey, Paramar dad, hey, paisam podu, sambarla podu. And that Parijaragan will do, tok, 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 na he'll Paramar. Savdunga. You know, for a Shadang, that is for him, he is just doing a job. Oh, sub item barabar aata hai ki nahi. Very professional. Whereas there will be some caterers. Oh, एक supervisor रहेगा वो ये अम्मा के इन्नु కొంచెం పాయసం విడరా డే అమ్మకి ఇన్ను కొంచెం పాయసం విడరా hey ఇన్ను ఏ వాడా డే రెండు గులాబ్ జామున్ నిన్ను ఎడుతును వా అమ్మ పారు నన్నా సాப்பிட்டு இருக்கா பாரு that he is serving the same thing, the same payasam and the same gulab jamun. Instead of like this, he is giving it like this. That is the only secret that saved me. That's the only secret. Otherwise, pehle ka music, ab ka music, I am doing the same thing. The same thing. That is why I am able to sit with Shankar ji, and when he enjoys, I am enjoying. I am able to enjoy because I have seen that his journey is the same thing. He has come to that point of being happy on the stage because he has gone through his set of struggles, and he knows ultimately it is just sheer sharing of joy and music.
It's very hard to say anything after this, but I think I would really request, it's just beautiful because I think we've got a lot to take away, and we really need to reflect upon what Aruna ji has said. But I would like to wrap up this session about the whole thing of teaching and learning, which is so crucial to this academy, with a question for Shankar ji. What do you think a teacher's essential qualities need to be to get to the vision that you have for this academy? Why don't you come up, Shankar ji?
I'm sure that listening to people like Neeraja, Taraka, and of course Arunama, how much we have learned in the morning, isn't it? Yes or no? Give a loud round of applause. See, it's very difficult to look for an ideal teacher, you know, because everybody has their own special qualities, something that they lack in, something that they are good at. I think the first thing that we should look for a teacher, especially I'll refer to our academy. What we are doing is, I think the student, when he looks at the teacher, the student should feel comfortable. As the other Guruji was saying, that fear should not be there. Because I think he very rightly put, this whole psychosis of Indian classical music, changing your facial expression. The minute you mention Indian classical music, this is not my cup of tea. Yes, it is your cup of tea. Why not? It should become your cup of tea. And the reason for that is the simple communication with your teacher. You should be able to feel comfortable when he or she is sitting in front of you, either in person or on the monitor. You should be able to communicate. Secondly, the teacher, I think, should explain things to the student in simple words. Now look at how she explained her whole journey. Isn't that the gulab jamun and payasam? That is the most... See, you will take back this gulab jamun and payasam back home when you will go today. This is something that's going to remain with you. But subconsciously, through the gulab jamun and payasam, you all have learned something very big in life, what she has experienced. So, this is can I use the word playway method? Can I use the word simplicity? Can I use the word, a teacher is very knowledgeable, but that doesn't mean that you have to download your knowledge onto the student and prove a point to your student that, see, look how knowledgeable I am and you are nothing, The whole idea is, as they were saying, you have to communicate things at the right time, at right intervals, in right doses, in the right way. Another thing that the teacher, I feel, should have, which we've always followed, is the whole experience of that class. The student should look forward to the next class. I know of cases where students say, oh my God, yaar, aaj singing class hai, yaar, jana padega. The student should look forward to saying that, oh, my class is coming up. I have to go. Because that experience that he has had or she has had in the previous class, that is lingering. That kind of, you remember how much fun you had with your teacher, what that learning experience was. It was an experience that I can never forget, So I look forward to what more can I learn in the future. I feel the teacher should not give examples of only the music that they are learning. Not linger around only in that Ragam and Swaram and Naraval and Alapanai and Kacheri. If the person is teaching Carnatic music, or if he is teaching Hindustani music, only Bandesh and Khayal and Bada Khayal, Chota Khayal, Rag, Ragini, Thaat, usi mein mat ghulo raho, then probably it gets a little monotonous for the student, and you have to always quote examples from something that is outside your core competence. You should quote examples from films. You should quote examples of Amitabh Bachchan. You should quote examples of funny instances like what Aruna said. I think when you get examples, when you relate it to your day-to-day life, when you're teaching, that is what makes the whole subject interesting. And at the same time, slightly also, inside the teacher, he or she should remember that we have to reach this depth of knowledge. We have to communicate. I want to teach you Neeraval stage. I am going to teach you Neeraval. वो teacher ने ठान लिया है. But that doesn't mean that you bombard the student with Neeraval from first day, that he doesn't understand anything and he just runs away from your class. So your aim should be very clear, but how to reach that destination, the path can be beautiful. It can be fun. It can be a game. It can be one day in the class you just play a game, musical game, something you play. You need not be very rigid. So I think they should be more like friends, and that the doubts thing, I really like the first column. I think all teachers should be level 5. Maximum doubts. You can bombard us with doubts and we'll clear your doubts. And that should be the relationship between teacher and student. Can I ask Aruna one question?
Yes.
See, I've been going to Chennai for so many years for recordings and all, and sometimes I attend concerts and all that. Why is it that for Carnatic classical traditional concerts, when I see many other artists performing, in today's day, there are 150, 200 people, 500 people in a big sabha. It's a big sabha, big kacheri, evening slot, not even afternoon slot. Reasonably big artist performing. And why is it that when you perform, it's always a house full? Can you share the secret with us? And it's the truth, huh? She's the only artist who goes house full every show she performs in Chennai. What is the secret?
I think I'll have to say something that might sound like a cliche, but that is exactly what I questioned. जब 20, 25, 30 साल पहले जब मैंने शुरू किया और ऑडियंस आती नहीं थी, अरे बाहर बोल रहे सब लोग, all the pundits are telling me, अरे बहुत अच्छा था, काम्बोदी was lovely, कल्याणी was so good, तोड़ी बहुत अच्छा था, सब बोल रहे हैं अपने घरों में बैठ के. लेकिन जब परफॉर्मेंस की नौबत आती है तो ऑडियंस जो जनता जनार्दन है वो लोग नहीं आ रहे. इसको मैंने क्वेश्चन किया एंड आई स्पेंड 10 years struggling, not knowing how to crack it. I did not know.
How did you crack it? What is it in your mind?
I will tell you many
very important,
things.
You know?
Yeah.
See, the most important thing for a performer is the audience. You know, if you don't have audience, what is the point? If nobody is listening, if I make an album tomorrow and just keep it in the shelf, will you know that then an album is made? Nobody will be able to hear what I've done. So I think our job is to spread our music to the maximum number of people. So what did you do to crack it?
So first thing is denial. I had to get over the denial part and come to the acceptance part. That took 2 years. Then once I accepted, then I said, okay, now what? Kya kare? There are many things that happened actually, which I'll spare you the details. बहुत very अद्भुत सब बहुत चीजें हुई, because people come just at the right time when you need people, a friend, a guide, a mentor, somebody who opens your eyes to something. I got those people in my life and they knew nothing about music. They were not from the music field. But they questioned me. They said, why is this happening? Aap socho, aisa karo, vaisa karo. Lot of suggestions. Out of that I sifted out. So what finally I did is, I already had a very eclectic repertoire. Which I had. I know. Any time, mujhe neend mein bhi aap uthaoge, to I can sing that repertoire because wo sab 10-12 साल की उम्र में मैंने सीखा है, बहुत सारा. तो वो मैंने बोला चलो अभी थोड़ी देर के लिए उसको पास में रखो. I went out and I found out, I did research. Carnatic music में I want the 50 most popular pieces in Carnatic. कौन गाता है, क्या गाता है और आजकल कौन गा रहे हैं. So I got a list of even pieces like Samajavaragamana, Alaipayude Kanna, Adada Asangadava Kanna. You know the usual जो cliched.
That's a later edition.
That later edition. So I said, okay, per concert, what I will do is, I will sing my eclectic repertoire. I will sing Shama Shastri. I will sing Muthuswami Dikshitar. Beach mein, every 2 pieces, I will put in something that the audience can pin itself to.
Brilliant.
So, every day.
Brilliant.
So मैंने तमिल में गाना शुरू किया. मद्रास में जाऊंगी तो तमिल में पापनासम शिवन, गोपाल कृष्ण भारती, that way. Then थोड़ा बहुत आगे जाके something अलेपायुदे करना, टुकड़ा section वर में अंगवद्द కొంచెం 1 or 2 अपड़ी I started singing. The moment you take the audience from the known to the unknown, they are with you. They come with you. They hold your hand. They say, चलो मुझे लेके जाओ. I'm coming. Alice in Wonderland करके आपके साथ मैं आपकी दुनिया में आती हूँ.
What a reference! My God, amazing. Remember, I'm just reiterating. When you take the audience from the known to the unknown, उन लोग को पहले ही unknown में डालेंगे. They'll chat. अरे क्या अरे खाना क्या बनाया है? They start chatting because you don't understand what you're doing.
No, seriously, it used to happen. Academy में, the canteen is very good. You used to get very good. So सब लोग बैठे वर्णम के टाइम पे ही in the beginning of the concert, चलो अभी अरुसुवई ने क्या बनाया है? आज उपमा है कि पोंगल है? They will be discussing. I could hear it. And I said, my God,
or maybe feel it.
Feel it, yeah. वो तो पता चल गया कि ये कुछ पकने वाला है, खिचड़ी पकने वाली नहीं है. So that slowly, then in that once I got a foothold and धीरे 50, 100 से 200, 500 people started coming and I was not diluting anything. I was just rearranging the material from the known to the unknown, back to the known. ये अपूर्व रागम बोले तो I will sing only one. Earlier, you won't believe, Chalanatai में रागम, तानम, नेरवल, स्वरम I used to sing. Now Chalanata is a Vivadi raga. You can't spend 45 minutes doing Chalanata, but I did it. Why? I wanted to show I can do it. Nahi. Now I won't do it.
Nobody came.
Nobody cares. So now I sang Chalanata, but as a 5-minute piece. And people loved it. They said, "Arey wah, bahut sundar hai." 5 minutes se zyada hai, they will not listen to any Vivadi rag. I'm telling you, they won't. Because so you have to understand, say, kaun se rag ka attention span kitna hota hai. You have to think about it. There are Rakti ragas, there are Apurva ragas, there are Vivadi ragas, there are Ganar ragas. You have to know, ye kaun se mishran mein main karungi to audience ko ras bhang nahi hoga aur ras jyada hoga.
And Aruna ji, I think this particular aspect also you have to cater according to what kind of audience you're singing.
Exactly. Abhi Karnataka mein aayi, so I used to do lot of Kannada pieces. I've done full concerts of Purandara Dasa. I learnt. वो बहुत सीखना पड़ा, लेकिन एक concert में 12 पीस में मेरे 7 पीस नए थे. I used to have new pieces and I used to be shivering in the backstage. कैसे होगा? Imagine, 3/4 of the concert is new material. How to do? But कैसे भी करके ऐसे you know, I just challowed and it happened. That's all. But it's very, very. So if you go to Andhra, you have to sing Bhadrachala Ramdasa, Annamaya. You have to do that. Now, if anybody calls that as pandering to the audience taste, I would rather pander to the audience.
Whoa. Yeah, I mean, music. Yeah, please.
So, Aruna ji, you also mentioned that divine spark that the audience is seeking, which you are going to give through this concert.
Yes.
How do you balance that with what you're just saying, with pandering to the audience? No,
it's not. I'll tell you something. But this is all. What मैं क्या बताऊँ अभी? You are एक करके मेरा secret आप बाहर निकाल रहे हो. But I don't mind sharing. Yeah, no, I don't mind sharing. Sachi, you know, one thing I found out that in the whole concert of 2.5 hours, there is the main raga which you are going to sing Todi, Kambodi, something. You are going to sing one sub-main raga which is Suddha Danyasi or some Amrita Varshini, something. Then you are going to sing a Varnam, and you are going to sing Tukada section. The Carnatic concert pattern is there. You are sticking to that pattern, but you are experimenting with it. So I found there is one piece in the middle of the concert which I am bringing from my respected Guru Brindama's repertoire. That I don't leave. It will be either a Kanakashaila Viharini in Punnagavarali, it will be one Ehi Annapurne in Punnagavarali, or Kamalamba Navavaranam in Ananda Bhairavi. You know, that soulful rendition how she used to do, adu or piece vichipe. Sometimes, believe me, I have always, concert ke baare mein plan karti hu, to first I call that particular piece as the soul of my concert. That song. For me, that's the soul. So I will first decide कि आज soul of the concert कौन सा piece होने वाला है, आनंद भैरवी. उसको पहले मैं plan करूँगी कि ये fix करूँगी. Depending on that, I will fix all the other ragas. Because ragas have to flow one from the other. You can't do 2 Pratimadhyama ragas one after the other and all. You can't do that. So that when you sing, after singing one sargam, this, that and all that stuff in the sub-main, when you sing one soulful song after a nice shloka, which is full of bhakti, full of melody, full of evocative feeling, audience jo bhi hai, even if they are French people, and I've tried it, French, German, English, Spanish, jahan bhi aap jao, you sing that piece, they are in tears. Because music is universal. You don't need to tell them anything. And these people, these Shama Shastri and the Muthuswami Dikshitars, they have sat and poured their heart out. They have done it. All you are doing is, as Lalit ji said, you are interpreting it and giving it to them in your own way. That's all. So, material is there. Only you have to juxtapose it. So, that divine spark always comes in that soulful piece.
Aruna, what are your views about us taking this blend of technology and the art form, bringing it together? Because we have normally seen that normally artists are technologically a little bit challenged. You know, hardly they can see the email. Or if they are technology people, they will say how much for a kilo of Kambodi. So they don't have anything to do with music. But when we have tried to, you know, bring this together. So what are your views? What do you think? Is the future bright?
I think it has to be done. It has to be done. There's no question. If we can WhatsApp each other, if we can communicate with each other through emails and WhatsApp, what are we doing? We are only expressing our feelings through that medium. So why not exploit that medium to share music? Why not? It karna hi chahiye. We should do it, and I think it's a great revolution what you have done. Sridhar ji and Shankar ji, you have done a revolution. Amazing. Amazing, and this should be done.
So after that, how can we let her go without singing? Yes or no?
Yes! Yes!
Ma'am, I know, see, I don't want, what you have given us today is as valuable as any concert that you would have done for us. It's really pearls of wisdom. What we would request you, I would request you, it's my favorite piece, if you can just render the Kalnika Nartana Tilana for the audience over here. This is an incredible piece. That only, this is... That Madhumekim also. Okay, that. So I'll just quickly get the accompanist. Padma, can we have Padma and Anirudh? Loud round of applause for our dearest Padma Shankar. After Sangam, they both are rushing to Coimbatore. She's going to be accompanying Aruna in Coimbatore. And can we have the maestro Anirudh also? Sorry, this was not part of the thing. So actually, I had sung this with her when we performed the duet concert, but I've forgotten the song. So I'll try to butt in between, but I don't want to disturb her, this thing, you know. It's a difficult one. We do a program called Matru Bhumi. Actually, we should start doing it again. Each one of us, we are all busy in our thing. In that program, ladies and gentlemen, we sing in 10 languages. 10 languages. So, ma'am, I know you're very busy, but you should do this program with me sometime.
Look who's talking, huh? He's the one who's more busy than I am. So I'm going to sing a Tillana. So this Tillana is composed by Oothukadu Venkata Subbayar, and it depicts the Kalinga Narthanam of Krishna. He's dancing on the Kaliya. Okay? So before that, I will just sing a short Viritam. Viritam is like taking a poem and on the spot you're improvising on it. I'll sing a Viritam also composed by Oothukadu Venkata Subbayar, the poem. And the content of the poem, he says that, you know, Manamayakkum Gishai Kole Shengolai. That is, he says, Krishna, every king has a rod with which he rules his kingdom, but your rod is the flute. That आप संगीत के राजा हो because of that flute. तमालत मरा निडले अरक कुड़याय. आपके ऊपर जो umbrella है, royal umbrella, it's the tree under which you are sitting in Vrindavan. So it's full contradictions, you know. That is Krishna as the king and Krishna as this very simple and humble, wonderful अपना जो कन्हैया है वैसे उसका भाव है, सौलभ्य. And the end he says, you know, that Radha is there, the gopis are there, the everything is there. Krishna, you're so great, but you're so beautiful and humble. But with all that, my pranam, my namaskar goes not to you, to that calf, that little cow that is sitting at your feet and licking your foot. Because I would like to be in the place of that little calf. I can't be. So he says, my namaskar is to that baby cow. Okay? And then
now this is the difference between her and other artists. What she does is she makes things simple, explains it to people so that you all understand what she is singing. Otherwise people just come, sing, go, beautiful, beautiful raga, not understood anything. So that is the difference between Aruna, Sairam and many other artists in this country.
மனமயக்கும் இசை கோலே செங்கோலாய் மனமயக்கும் இசை கோலே செங்கோலாய் தமாலத்து மரநிழலே அறக்குடையாய் மாமயிலின் சிறகொன்றே மகுடமாய் மாமயிலின் சிறகொன்றே மகுடமாய் வனங்கிடந்த பெரும் பாறை அணியணையாய் நிரந்தி சிறுமலர்கள் பதவினையோ வலத்தமர்ந்த நப்பின்னை அரசியாய் புனல் கருத்த யமுனை நதி துறைவன் அமர்ந்திருக்கும் கொலுவினிலே அனவரதம் தனம் பெருத்த பசுங்கணத்தின் மணிகளெல்லாம் கணகணத்து தர்மத்தின் பேரொலியாய் ஒலித்து வர புனல் கருத்த யமுனை நதித்துறைவன் அமர்ந்திருக்கும் கொலுவினிலே அனவரதம் அம்மே அம்மே அம்பே என்று பலகட்டியம் சொல் அழகு சிறு பசுங்கன்றே உனக்காயிரம் நமஸ்காரம். பசுங்கன்றே உனக்கு ஆயிரம் நமஸ்காரம் தாம் தீம் தரன்னத்தாம் தினதகினதாம் தீம் தரன்னத்தாம் தினதகினதாம் தீம் தரன்னத்தாம் தினதகினதாம் தீம் தரன்னதாம் தினதகினதாம் தீம் தரன்னதாம் தாம் தீம் தரன்னதாம் தகதஜம் தகதிகதஜம் தாம் தாமிதஜம் 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 தகதஜம் தகதிகதஜம் தாம் நீல மனோகர ஜால விபூஷண நிரத ஜலந்தர புஜங்க நர்த்த நீரஜ தடாக அதிக மிருதுள பத நிகಟ தரங்கோ துங்க தாடங்க நிர்த்தக நிர்த்தக தாம் தகதை தகததி நிதியத தகதா கிட்ட தக ஜகத் குர்ஜகநந்தம் தக ஜகதக ஜகத் குர்ஜகநந்தம் யமுனா தடாக तुङ्गतरङ्गं हिमगरश्मिनितरमित शुभाङ्गं इतस्ततस्तर करुणापाङ्गं यदिवर हृदय सरोरुगभृङ्गं दिनतदिल्लान 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 दृगतकिटदिल्लान अरक सिन्दूर अरक शृङ्गार वरन गम्भीर उरगमन संचार नंद सुकुमार नवनीत दधि चोर चंदमणिगार जलभवधि नुतधीर नंद सुकुमार नवनीत दधि चोर स्वच्छंदमणिगार जलभवधि नुतधीर जय विजयी भव नंद कुमार व्रजजन परमानंद किशोर काळीय नटनानंद गंभीर करुणा रसयुध भाव शरीर हृदीं तदा तदीं तदा ततै dim tatam tadim tatam tatai dimita dimita kitta janu juguna gunandari taguna gunandari dimita ta kudimita dimita kitta jan rajakumara mahimalanka vanamala bulandar krita krita daratajam tattagajam tattagannam tattagurram tattajam tattagajam tattagannam tattagurram tattagu janandari tattagu janandari ta janandari tatimita kita tagu janandari tattagu janandari ta janandari tatimita kita jan adbhuta nattana chitrita mudrita vidyata mudbhava adbhutam bhuta tagu janandari tattagu janandari ta adbhuta nattana chitrita mudrita vidyata mudbhava adbhutam adbhut tagu janandari tattagu janandari ta Tedisuta kala vidisuta shila gadisaya lila grita badalola tagu janandari tattagu janandari ta Vidisuta kala vidisuta shila gadisaya nila grita badalola tagu janandari tattagu janandari ta janandari tadimita kitta jan tadimita kitta dhimita dhimita kitta dhimita dhimita kitta dhimita kata tattayo tattai kidata tarikita dom tarikita tarikita tagu janandari tagu janandari ta janandari tadimita kitta jan tadimbit tayya tarikita takata gajam அதிசய சுகந்த பதகர பாதஜம் சரசலோக முரளி ரவனா த சகல லோக சம்மோகனகி ததக்குதின்ன தகதின்னந்த கதகதா தைதாங்கதா தைதா திரகதகதகதின்னதா கதா தைதாங்கதா தைதா கதம்ப கிசலய ಬಿಳಿತನು ಪುರಪದಂಜಲಿತ ಕೃತ ಪಾದತ್ತಾಂ ಕದಂಬ ಕಿಸಲಯ ಬಿಳಿತನು ಪುರಪದಂಜಲಿತ ಕೃತ ಪಾದತ್ತಾಂ ತಿಲ್ಲಾನ ತ್ರಿಗತಿಲ್ಲ ನತ್ರಿಗತಿಲ್ಲ ನಾಗಿಟ ತುಂ ಗತ ನನ್ನಂಗಿಟ ತುಂ ಗತೈಗ ತುಂ ತಗದ ಗಿಟ ದರಿ ಗಿಟ ತುಂ ತುಂ ತಗೈ ತಗ ಜೋರಗ ಬಂದ ಅದ್ಭುತಂಗ ಶಿರಸಿ ಚಲನಂ ಚಲನಂ ತ್ರಿತನಂ ಇದನಂ ಕೃತನಂ ಇದ ಚಂದ್ರವದಂಗ ಕಂಕಣ ಕಿಂಚಿತ ನಂಗನನಂ ಪದರದ ದಿಮಿ ದಿಮಿ ಜಣು ಜಣುದಂ ತದಾತ್ತದಿಲ್ಲ ನಗನಗ ಭೂಷಣ್ ತಗಿಡ ತಗಸ್ ಕಡಾಯ ಬುಧಕರ ಮಂದಸ್ ವಿತಕರವರ ಪೂಜಿತ ಪದಯುಗಳ ಹರಿಜಯ ವಿಜಯೀ ಭವನಂದ ಕುಮಾರ ರಜಗಣ ಪರಮ ರಕಳೀಯ ನಟನಾನಂದ ಗಂಭೀರ ಕರುಣಾರಸಯುಗ ಶರೀ ರಮದ ಮಧುಕರ ಮಧುಪದರಳ ಸಮನಯನ ಕಮಲದಳ ಚಲನ ಮುನಿ ಹೃದಯಮಪಿ ಚೋ ರಚ ಕರ ದಯಾ ಕರ ಮುರಾರಿ ಶ್ರೀಕರ ಮದ ಮಧುಕರ ಮಧುಪದರಳ ಸಮನಯನ ಕಮಲದಳ ಚಲನ ಮುನಿ ಹೃದಯಮ ಚೋರ ಕರ ದಯಾ ಕರ ಮುರಾರಿ ಶ್ರೀಕರ ಮದ ಮಧುಕರ ಮಧುಪದರ ಸಮನಯನ ಕಮಲದಳ ಚಲನ ಮುನಿ ಹೃದಯಮಪಿ ಚೋ ರಚ ಕರ ದಯಾ ಕರ ಮುರಾರಿ ಶ್ರೀಕರ.
Aruna, Sairam, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Loud round of applause for the one and only Aruna Sairam. Anirudh and Padma Shankar on the violin.